But even then, when I look back on that situation, I don't know if I thought I was an abused woman because I hit back. So he pushed me, and I, I was shocked. But I thought if I hit back, that's not abuse. That's that's what people do. And so you can become acclimated and conditioned to accepting dysfunction. That was dysfunction. And so domestic violence doesn't begin with violence. He didn't start out being abusive. He didn't start out like that. And when you're in an abusive situation, it starts out with love bombing. As Sister Delphine mentioned earlier, it starts out being everything that you thought you wanted. And so it blinds you. So it doesn't begin with violence. It often begins with a fairy tale, but it ends in a nightmare. So many people have found themselves in abusive situations. And as my husband said, it's not, as we all know, it's not just physical. It is emotional. And a lot of times the emotional wounds stick with the things that people say to you. Like Mara was saying, the things that people say to you, those things stick out in your mind the most, even more so than somebody hitting or pushing you. So abuse, it runs deep, right? And so many have found themselves in that situation. And abuse is sin. I don't know if we look at that, y'all. Abuse is sin. Abuse is sin, and sometimes the church, and we speak as the ecclesia, we speak as insiders, right? As Paul would to the church, right? So many times when people don't understand that it is spiritual warfare of epic proportions, people will champion for you to stay and pray in something that God told you should be getting away from. So abuse is definitely spiritual. It is hatred, it is wrath, it is Leviathan, it is Jezebel, it is all those things. And if we look at the spiritual side of abuse, or actually if we look at the spiritual side of abuse, it's really all about your ABCs. It's about the altars, the bloodlines, and the covenants. And when you are in covenant with an abuser, you are in covenant, you are in a cursed union. I don't know if we think about that. You are in something that is inherently cursed. And right, absolutely. You are in something that is cursed. So if it's cursed, it can never be blessed until you both go through healing. You both go through deliverance, right? And it is outside of God's will for us to be abused.